Okay.
So.
So we were talking about Brandon O'Brien a second ago, and he did the Mirrorball album.
Yes.
And I gotta start talking to you about Neil Young because he's one of my favorites of all time. And I know it was a long time ago that you guys recorded with him, but I want to know like what it's like being in the studio with him, what it's like being on stage with him. You know, someone of his stature and talent and presence. What's that like?
Being in the studio with Neil was super easy, and because he makes it that way.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what it's like every single time with him, but I only know Mike.
I've heard it's hard sometimes.
I'm sure. He goes through all of his different phases. He's from trance to his acoustic stuff to Ragged Glory to all of those, and they're all over the map, and then some country stuff. With us, we basically kind of wrote the whole thing, or he did, in 4 or 5 days. He had a couple ideas, and like, I want to do a record with you guys, and we're like, hell yeah, we want to do a record with you, Neil Young. And he came out to Seattle, and Brendan was part of it, and he just kind of came in with these riffs, like "I'm the Ocean," and he had sat around like the night before and like, I came up with this thing. So he just started doing it, and then he started singing, and then we were like, okay, we're jumping in on it. And we did a few takes of those songs, but maybe like one take of a couple of them. It was a while ago, but real easy. And I remember him not doing his vocals over again. Brendan was like, okay, let's do your vocals. Like, I got it, I nailed it. And it's like, and what are you going to tell Neil Young? And it's like,
for real.
Yeah, you do got it. And playing live with him is unbelievable because we did a whole tour with him over in Europe, and he kind of asked us what we wanted to hear, and so I'm like, all right, Down by the River and Cinnamon Girl, and you want to do Too Far Gone? He's like, I don't want to do Too Far Gone, so we didn't do that, but that's one of my favorite songs ever, his. And, Rockin' the Free World, Cortez the Killer, which is unbelievable. We did some shows with him, and you follow his groove.
Right.
It's like we fall into him. We're like, he's like 4 little guys. Ed wasn't there, but 4 little guys hanging out, and there's this beacon of sound and soul and music, and we get sucked into it.
Yeah.
It's all of him, but we contribute to it. But
of course.
It's his direction, and I tripped so hard when we were playing Cortez a couple of times. It was, I wasn't on anything, but I tripped harder than I have ever in my life, and doing other things. Playing that with him for 15 minutes, I remember one time, it's going to sound crazy because I can't explain how it was, but we played in Germany, then we played in Jerusalem like right after that, and then we played at this place called, I think it was Cascais, and it was like a 2,000-year-old Roman amphitheater outside, and I was just tripping and playing the song, and totally sober, totally clean, but I went somewhere during that song that I've never been in any other song ever, even in some bar sets.
That's fucking cool.
And I went. It sounds crazy. I went to some light, and I came back, and I remember at the end of the song, my hand was off the guitar, and it was like, but it was 15 minutes of jamming on that song.
That's cool.
One of the greatest experiences ever playing music, for sure. Top 5.
What are your memories of the days?
Does that sound crazy?
No,
because
I've gotten that feeling from him, like seeing him live.
Yeah.
So I'm in Seattle last year, and
did you play acoustic last year?
He played acoustic and electric, and during the electric set, everyone ran up to the front, and so I had my elbow up on the stage, and I was tripping.
Nice.
But it was like, is this really happening? Like him right here, and he played "Oh Lonesome Me," and it's just like it felt like there was some kind of power that he was like harnessing that wasn't necessarily him, but it's kind of out there, and like he pulls it in, and I kind of feel that with you sometimes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because you're badass.
Well, thank you.
Which is another question I have, but before I get to that. So I met Neil Young very briefly at a book signing in 2004, and I asked him if he'd consider making Mirrorball 2, and he said that would be fun. So I was wondering what it would take for you to call him up and suggest that you make Mirrorball 2. Because I know the last album was only it only took 4 days for you guys to do it.
Yeah.
So if you got like 4 days on your guys' schedule, you should.
I would love to do it. It wouldn't take me anything. I could just, I don't know. I gotta get his number. I don't have it right now.
I bet Ed has it.
I'm sure Ed has it.
Okay.
I'd have to get Ed to call him.
Okay, something to think about though.
I've always wanted to do more music with Neil Young.
Yes.
I never have not wanted to do it.
That was my idea, okay?
Yeah.
I can do it.
Mirrorball 2.
Yes. Awesome.
And it could be, the cover could be the ball had crashed or something that's on the ground. That's broken. Nice. We'll talk about artwork later.
Right.
Let's get the project going first.
Okay. So, like I said, to me, it's like Neil Young, and then there's you.
Cool.
In my book, as a fan.
I appreciate that.
And so, what's it like for you to be held in similar regard? You mentioned the same breath as guys like him and Eric Clapton and those kinds of people.
Well, I'm honored, of course. I want to be able to play as good as I can. I want to be able to feel. But first of all, I want to be able to feel it. More than anything. I don't want to necessarily be technically proficient because I'm kind of lazy for that. But I've just played in bands ever since I was 11, so it's all about feel for me. It's about if I can not think about it and just get the vibe of what's coming off the audience and where the song's going or what Ed's singing about or what, and let all that go and play, then that's the best time when I'm closing my eyes.
Right.
So I'm honored to be if I'm in any kind of league with those guys you had mentioned. I mean, that's cool because I look up to all those guys.
Right.
So it's hard for me because I'm still looking up to them as you're saying that. I'm going, yeah, Clapton. I just saw him. I saw him play a year ago in Seattle. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how many more cool things can you do on guitar, and then keep doing them all night?
Right.
Like how many riffs does that guy know? He knows the encyclopedia of riffs, but he's also very feeling. I just saw B.B. King play, and he's like 85, and he's still just killing it.
Was that Bonnaroo?
That was a Bonnaroo, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. Did you see him?
No, I didn't, but I heard good things.
He was really good. I mean, and I've seen him about 4 or 5 times, and those that I try to draw from old blues and stuff. I mean, that's maybe some of my influences are the same as like Neil Young's and Clapton's. While those guys are still my influences too. So.